Today's show is sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Association. Join up to support the electrification of transport and get the help you need to finance your own EV or clean energy future. And by EnergySage. Visit the link in the description to find local, verified solar experts, community projects and heat pump specialists in your area. And by Atmos Financial. Bank better with a financial technology company that's powered by a portfolio of clean energy investments. Welcome back to another episode of TEN, Transport Evolved News. Thanks for joining me. Before we get to today's stories, a quick correction from last week. I mentioned retro Renaults and then I said 2CV, which of course was made by Citroën. I know that. Last week I was recovering from a nasty cold and my brain wasn't in 100% operational mode. I'm sorry. But in a similar vein, some people last week were upset about the rumour that NIO was looking to purchase one of Audi's factories in Belgium, which we were clear was a rumour. NIO refuted the rumour after we filmed the show, and while my alter ego is a time-travelling, immortal border collie, I've not yet learned her secret of time-travelling. Sorry. We start today's show with news that Tesla has begun to send out invites for its October 10th reveal event of its newest vehicle, its promised Tesla robotaxi. The invites have the title, We Robot. At the same time, Elon Musk stated on X that buses won't be needed after Tesla rolls out unsupervised full self-driving, noting that the Tesla robotaxi will be cheaper than public transit. Responding to a claim from another user that electric buses won't work in cold climates, which in of itself is patently false, Musk stated, quote, "Then the battery packs of the buses are too small," end quote, using the moment to then note Teslas operate well in super cold temperatures. He then went on to say that Tesla's service will be similar to a bus ticket in cost, causing some outlets, including electric, to check that claim. Current estimates seem to place the cost far higher than a bus for robotaxi, but it's worth noting that Elon Musk is a known critic of public transit and has a tendency to overpromise on Tesla's autonomous tech. Peugeot has officially announced new longer-range variants of its E3008 and E5008 electric cars ahead of their official Paris Motor Show debut. Thanks to a new battery pack, which the firm says is made entirely in France, the E3008 and E5008 both get tweaked drivetrains for their long-range variants, with 170 kilowatts at the wheels and 96.9 kilowatt-hours of usable battery capacity. According to the WLTP test cycle, they are rated respectively to 700 kilometres, 434 miles, and 668 kilometres, 415 miles, respectively. Prices have yet to be announced, but we can expect them after their Paris show debut, where they will share the stage with an all-new, all-electric Peugeot E408. Audi has officially published pricing of the all-new Audi Q6 e-tron for the US, with the entry-level model starting from just over $65,000 including mandatory destination fees. The launch model will be a 236 kilowatt rear-wheel drive variant with 6.3 second sprint time. If equipped with Audi's special Ultra package, you'll be able to swap out the standard 19-inch wheels for 18-inch wheels and ultra-low rolling resistance tyres for a claimed 321 miles, 516 kilometres of range per charge. At the other end of the lineup is the SQ6 e-tron, which packs nearly 370 kilowatts at the wheels and has a sprint time of 4.1 seconds. It's based on the same platform as the Porsche Macan EV, so it should be good. Unlike many European automakers who have fought against Chinese brands in the marketplace, Stellantis is reaping the benefits of working alongside Chinese automakers, specifically LEAPmotor. It's just launched not one, but two LEAPmotor models ahead of the Paris Motor Show, with the LEAPmotor T03 now offering Europe a new compact A-segment vehicle with a range of 265 kilometres, 164 miles, for €18,900. Its larger sibling, the C10 SUV, is significantly pricier at €36,400, but also offers 420 kilometres, 260 miles of WLTP range. Folks outside of Europe might view that range as a little pants, but remember that, for the most part, cities in Europe aren't quite as widely spaced apart as they are in other parts of the world. Nissan has officially begun a recall campaign effective September 19th to address what might be a pretty sizable problem in the battery packs of newer Nissan Leafs. According to the recall notice, which has yet to be published on any official website, affected vehicles may experience, quote, excessive lithium deposits within battery cells, increasing the electrical resistance and potentially causing a fluctuation in the state of charge, end quote. It goes on to note that the increased electrical resistance could result in a battery pack undergoing rapid heating, which could ultimately lead to a fire when fast charging. It says that owners with affected vehicles should avoid using CHAdeMO charging, and is directly in response to a series of fires involving 2018 through 2023 Nissan Leafs catching fire. We've unfortunately seen plenty in the media in recent months about countries delaying or even reversing policies that would help drive us towards a zero-emission future. But a new report this week from the International Energy Agency, or IEA for short, gives us hope that it's still possible for the world's governments to shift into high gear in order to implement the energy goals set by nearly 200 independent nations last year at COP28 in Dubai. During the conference, participants agreed to work to triple renewable energy generation by 2030, as well as increase global energy efficiency. But to date, few nations have managed to even make meaningful steps in the right direction. The IEA, however, says that it's figured out how world governments can meet those targets and lays out a path forward. This includes modernising 25 million kilometres of electrical grid around the world and making a 15-fold increase in grid-tied energy battery storage. Not so long ago, rental company Hertz was heavily promoting its push towards a zero-tailpipe emission rental fleet through a massive investment in EVs. That investment has led to more availability of EVs at Hertz locations around the world, but in recent months, Hertz has pulled the plug, no pun intended, on expanding its EV fleet and has instead been selling some of its EV rental fleet off at a loss. We've seen everything from Tesla Model Y to Model 3 through to Polestar models, and even Chevrolet Bolt EVs get sold at heavily discounted prices, and some of you have even benefited from those sales, like my friend Exoff. Hi, Exoff! Now we've heard that Hertz is selling off some of its rental fleet Silverado EV WTs with as much as $11,000 off the price of a brand new model if you're willing to buy a lightly used one. It's a shame to see Hertz sell off its EV fleet, but it might be a good bargain for those looking for an electric pickup. It's official. The charging stations are good for local businesses. That's according to a new study from MIT, which concludes that when a new set of charging stations pop up in an area, local businesses benefit. The study examined local businesses near to fast charging stations and noted that not only did local businesses see an uptick in customer traffic, but they also saw an increase in the amount of money being spent by customers. The study is hardly going to be surprising to those who already drive EVs regularly, as the chances are you've made a choice to drop by a local restaurant or coffee shop while getting some extra electrons. But the study seems to suggest other businesses benefit too, with any kind of shop that could be easily perused in a short period of time, benefiting from folks walking by with time to kill. The US Department of Commerce has just issued a proposal to ban all Chinese software and hardware in connected vehicles in the US for national security reasons. If it is adopted, the proposal would make it impossible for Chinese-made cars to drive on the roads of the US, including EVs. But it's worth noting that many new EVs, including those made by legacy automakers and EV-only firms like Tesla, feature chips made in China. Under the proposed rule change, exceptions would be possible, allowing US companies a way to gain exceptions for their particular use case. Given that most cars on the market today are capable of internet access and many components inside those cars originate from China, it could, however, have far-reaching consequences. It's no secret that electric vehicles are still very much a politically divisive topic. You only have to watch recent political rallies, listen to the news, or indeed peruse our comments section to verify that fact. But in a news interview with CBS Sunday Morning last week, GM CEO Mary Barra said that she was surprised that EVs were such a political issue, commenting that she didn't think what powers a vehicle would be so much of a political hot potato. During the interview, she reiterated that she believes GM's light-duty vehicles will be ready to be EV only by 2035, but added that GM will remain to be guided by the consumer on this particular matter. But while Barra stated that GM never thought the transition to EVs would be linear and claimed that she believes GM has the ability to compete against Chinese automakers, it's still very worrying that Mary Barra seemed so out of touch with political undertones present. Our shorts are coming in a moment, but first a quick word from a long-time sponsor of the channel, EnergySage. EnergySage helps homeowners connect with local verified solar installers across the US and now heat pump specialists in select markets who really know their stuff and can help you navigate the process of installing solar panels, help you join a community solar program, or indeed get a heat pump installed. I used EnergySage when we were looking for installers willing to help us put solar panels on the roof of our home, and our EnergySage verified installers were professional, knowledgeable, and even put us in touch with an amazing credit union that allowed us to finance our solar panels for as low a monthly payment as possible. Follow the links below to sign up for either of EnergySage's free no obligation services and get that ball rolling today. If you choose to use an EnergySage installer for your project, we will also get a small referral fee, so you'll be helping us as well. Help the grid get greener, save money, and support the channel. It's a win-win-win. And now it's time for shorts. Kia has recalled certain EV9 electric SUVs due to a problem with the car's party trick, remote parking assist, designed to help people get in and out of their cars without being boxed in. A failure in the software could lead to EV9s not stopping when intended. Rivian has recalled a small number of R1S electric SUVs after it became apparent that cruise control markings may be missing from the steering control module. Rivian will inspect and replace affected components free of charge and will notify owners of affected vehicles. AE Elemental, a joint venture between US-based Ascend Elementals and Polish Elemental Strategic Materials, has opened its first commercial-scale EV battery production facility in Poland. It will be capable of processing 12,000 metric tons of batteries annually. The US Department of Energy has announced the first in a series of investment rounds into battery material processing, manufacturing and recycling in the US. It's just awarded $3 billion of funds spread across 25 projects in 14 different states. Regulatory firings in China have surfaced showing the first images of the Lynk Co Z20 electric crossover, which will be sold in Europe from October as the Z02. Built on the same SEA architecture as the Volvo EX30, we can expect a choice of different battery pack options at launch. Charging station manufacturer Alpitronic has launched its first US production facility. Looking to benefit from US funding for domestic production, Alpitronic's new facility in Charlotte, North Carolina will make DC fast charging stations for the North American market. Sticking with charging, ChargePoint has just announced that it's received a sizable amount of funding from the California Energy Commission to help improve EV charging provision along California's highways. The funding is part of the US NEVI initiative from the federal government. More bad news this week came from Northvolt, which has confirmed that it's putting plans for a factory expansion on hold. It also confirmed that it will reduce its workforce by 1,600 staff at 3 locations in Sweden and will shrink its international workforce by 20%. BAIC's electric vehicle subsidiary BJEV has been given a sizable scaling back by its parent company. BJEV, which sells cars under 3 different brands, has suffered massive drops in sales in the last few months, but nevertheless will still open a new factory in Beijing shortly. Polestar has officially announced plug and charge functionality for owners of its Polestar 3. Plug and charge simplifies the charging process for owners, allowing them to forego smartphone apps and RFID payment cards at most modern fast charging stations. After an increase in the number of employees taking sick days, Tesla's head of human resources and other executives from Giga Berlin have been making unscheduled house visits to employees at home to see if they were really sick. It's upset a lot of staff and the labour unions. Ford has officially announced its latest version of its hands-off, eyes-up driver assistance system, Blue Cruise. Now at version 1.4, Ford says the system can operate an average of 8 times longer between interventions than it did at Blue Cruise version 1.0. Mercedes-Benz has officially begun production of its EQS SUV for the Indian market at an Indian production facility. As with the US, India incentivized automakers to produce its vehicles for its domestic market within its own borders. The car will be made in 5- and 7-seat variants. British firm Ree Automotive has announced plans for the start of US production of its P7 electric truck, thanks to a contract manufacturing agreement with Roush Industries. Ree Automotive says the facility in Detroit, Michigan will start making vehicles in Q4. Ford has confirmed that after being closed for 3 years, its production facility in Chennai, India, will reopen. Rather than produce internal combustion engine vehicles as it previously did, however, Ford plans to use the facility to produce mainly electric models for the local market. SAIC-GM and CATL have just announced a brand new LFP battery pack for use in future vehicles, where they claimed 6-seat charge rate, allowing a 5-minute charging session in optimum conditions to add up to 200 kilometers of range under the Chinese test cycle. As part of its launch celebrations for the 2025 Macan Electric in the US, Porsche has confirmed that customers will be given unlimited complimentary 30-minute charging sessions on the Electrify America network for a total of 1 year from the date of purchase. Hyundai Kia has launched a new project that will allow the sibling automakers to bring LFP battery packs into their respective future lineups to lower the entry-level point for EVs. The project will focus on lithium iron phosphate cathode material production. Chinese investment group ADM Group has announced a new agreement with 2 local companies in Pakistan that will install up to 3,000 charging stations in the country for citizens to use. The majority of the stations will be in Karachi and Punjab. In order to tap local talent from Motor City, Lucid has opened a new office in Detroit. The facility will focus on hiring hardware engineers as well as R&D and production specialists, unofficially, of course, to help Lucid gain some of the legacy auto experience it's eager to benefit from. Zeekr's newest electric vehicle, the 7X SUV, is launching with a rather unique feature, and it's a first for a production car, EV or otherwise. As reported by Inside EVs this week, the 7X has a lever inside that allows the driver to break the window in case of flooding, speeding up the exit process. New York City is about to get 5,000 new charging stations at parking locations operated by the Hudson Valley Parking Trust, working with Invisible Urban Charging. The firm will install mainly Level 2 charging stations at parking locations it owns throughout the city. Polestar has launched its own limited edition electric mountain bike. Built with Olibike, it offers some really expensive, impressive specs and components, including Shimano motor and Öhlins suspension. It's also nearly €9,000, but we still want to have one to get a chance to play. If you're in the UK and you're feeling flush, you can now rent a left-hand drive R1S from UK rental specialist eVision. I should note that these are US spec Rivian models and that the price is pretty expensive, £990 sterling a day. Ouch! Now majority owned by Mullen Automotive, Bollinger Motors has officially started production of its B4 Class 4 electric truck. After pivoting from its B1 and B2 electric SUV and pickup, the firm now hopes to make an impact in the commercial vehicle segment. After dramatically scaling back its solar installation services, Tesla is now asking energy specialists across the US and Canada to become certified with its energy products. Its ultimate goal is to no longer offer its own services for installation. Kia has officially laid out its plans for getting NACS adapters out to Kia EV6 and EV9 owners. While Kia says those who buy an EV6 or EV9 after September 4th will get a free NACS adapter, those who purchase their cars earlier will unfortunately have to buy one for themselves. It's official. After months of falling sales, Stellantis is officially looking for a new CEO to replace its current CEO, Carlos Tavares. While Stellantis is painting the hunt as just part of the process, Tavares' contract won't be renewed when it expires in 2026. BYD's own specialist car-carrying ship is proving so successful for the company that it's readying a second 7,000 vehicle cargo ship to launch to help it increase its export capabilities around the world. Ultimately, it plans on having a 7-ship fleet within just a few years. Amidst the controversy over the expansion of Tesla's Giga Berlin and the trees that would be felled to make space for the facility, construction workers were given a police escort into the middle of the night to begin deforestation. Tesla plans to plant trees to offset those felled. The Fisker Owners Association, which I should be clear has nothing to do with Fisker, has announced it's managed to cement an independent network of 21 service centres in the US and 3 in Canada that have the tools and equipment needed to keep Fisker Ocean EVs on the road. Tesla's full self-driving supervised has recently been given a full 1,000-mile test evaluation with AMCI testing. The firm states that just under 1,000 miles of driving led to its testers intervening 75 times, calling it close to foolproof, yet falling short. It warned that the system created unsafe operator complacency. Canadian EV specialist Lion EV has launched what it says is a first, an all-electric tow truck. Built in collaboration with upfit specialist XPAC Industries, the Lion 5-based tow truck is in service with CAA Quebec, making roadside assistance zero-emission for some lucky customers. BYD has just celebrated making its 9 millionth new energy vehicle in China. While new energy vehicles include battery electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles, BYD's primary output these days is all electric. Its 9 millionth car? A Yangwang U9 electric hypercar. LDV confirmed this week that it's considering bringing the e-tron 9 to New Zealand Aotearoa as a future model, the very same week that Kia confirmed that the EV3 electric crossover will launch in the Kiwi market early next year. Happy times for Kiwi buyers. Fisker has flip-flopped on its repair policy, now stating in a new part of its website that the 2 current recalls in effect for its Ocean EV will have parts and diagnostic tools included free, but that the customers will have to pay labour costs for the recall repairs. Not looking good, Fisker. Talking this week, Ford's COO of Model E said that one of the largest challenges facing Ford is dealing with EV FUD. Speaking at the Automotive News Congress, he said that most people still don't understand the perks of going electric, like being able to charge up at home. As it prepares for the 2025 model year to the IONIQ family, Hyundai has confirmed that the IONIQ 5N will get some important tweaks for the year, including a configurable drift mode designed to make it easier for customers to dial in their perfect drift. Faraday Future has announced a new brand, Faraday X, which it says will launch a range of new, more affordable plug-in vehicles. It's worth remembering that Faraday Future has only ever produced a handful of vehicles, and Faraday X says it plans on making EVs and PHEVs. At least, that's what it says. Reports out of Germany say that Ford has officially begun production of the all-electric Ford Capri at its Cologne facility, the same factory where the Ford Explorer EV is made. However, Ford hasn't officially announced the start of production, so this may be pre-production instead. And those are your shorts. There will be more next week. Our final 2 stories are next, but first a quick word from friend of the channel, Atmos Financial. Imagine a bank where your savings not only grow, but also go towards growing a greener world. That's exactly what Atmos Financial does for you. With Atmos, every dollar in your checking and savings account funds projects that light up lives with solar energy rather than fossil fuels. Atmos is banking that builds a better tomorrow with every swipe of your card today, because it's committed to investing 100% in clean, equitable and sustainable progress. With a competitive savings rate and a mobile app, your finances and the climate go hand in hand. It charges no monthly fees and there are no minimums keeping you awake at night, and it offers accessible solar loans for those who want to give the fossil fuel industry the ultimate middle finger. By joining Atmos using the link below, you're not only choosing a smarter way to bank, you're planting seeds for a healthier earth. And since every sign-up supports this channel, it means we can keep bringing you the content you love. I'm personally a customer and I love knowing that I'm helping save money while also making sure that money doesn't end up funding the fossil fuel industry. And as always, thanks to Atmos for sponsoring this show. And now it's time for those last 2 stories. A new study from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has highlighted something we've been saying for a really long time. Drivers abuse semi-autonomous driver assistance features. Through studying Tesla's autopilot and Volvo's pilot assist, IIHS, working with MIT's Aggie Lab, showed that drivers using both systems had a tendency to engage in distracting behaviours, such as checking their phone, eating a sandwich, or doing other non-driving related activities that reduce their awareness of what's going on around them. But what's even worse is that the study highlighted that drivers quickly mastered the bare minimum level of attention information required to keep said systems active, allowing the system to operate while not really paying attention to the road around them. It's a problem across all semi-autonomous systems, and we need better ways of ensuring people remain actively engaged in the road ahead when using them. And finally, if you've watched any of our car reviews in the last few years, you'll know that one of our biggest bugbears with new crossovers is how infrequently car companies add rear wipers as standard fit features. Automakers often claim that people don't need rear wipers, but if you live in places where the weather is often poor, you'll know it's an essential feature, and that's why an engineer in Switzerland has come up with his own solution, the Gecko Wiper. Launched on Kickstarter this week, it's a retrofit wiper primarily for previous model year IONIQ 5 EVs that lack rear wipers. New model years are getting them, frustratingly, and it uses both suction and a super strong magnet to ensure the wiper doesn't go anywhere when you're using it. It's already blown past its goal in just a few days on Kickstarter and might just be worth a look if your EV is lacking that all-important rear wiper. I just love it when people solve problems with ingenuity. And on that note, we are done with today's show. As always, a massive thank you to the Electric Vehicle Association for sponsoring today's show. They've been advocating for electric vehicles since 1967 and firmly believe that our future depends on us making the switch to clean, green electric cars today. The EVA can help you find someone near to you that can help you make that switch to electric. It can help you become an EV educator, and it can point you in the direction of monthly meetups for like-minded EV fans. Plus, if you become a member, you'll gain access to a clean energy and EV loan program set up between the EVA and the Colorado Clean Energy Credit Union. You can find out more by heading to myeva.org. And if that's not enough, don't forget it will soon be National Drive Electric Weekend with tons of great events taking place, organised by Plug in America, the EVA, the Sierra Club, EV Hybrid Noir and Drive Electric USA. In fact, you need to get out and do it today. And thanks to EnergySage. Follow the link below to find out how easy it can be to get verified, trustworthy solar experts helping you make the step towards energy self-sufficiency through solar on the roof of your home, by joining a community solar project, or by getting a heat pump installed. And thanks to Atmos Financial. Bank better by following the link below. And if you are someone who made your own transportation or energy greener this week, whatever it was, yay! Congratulations! If you'd like to support the channel directly, please consider supporting us from $1 a month on Patreon, which is about $10.08 a year, or by visiting our swag store. We are viewer supported because we believe the information we produce should be free to everyone. So if you support, thank you. We do have some good news about our trip to Canada. With more than $1,000 of disputed Airbnb nonsense, we got a refund from our credit card company, so thanks for your help with that one. And thank you for supporting. You all make this possible. We'll be back next week as usual with content going out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And to finish, remember that you're valid and loved, and you have a place in this world regardless of what rich idiots, religious zealots, large companies and greedy politicians might say. Know that your existence is resistance, and that resistance, if you are able, in the US, can be bolstered by making sure you're registered to vote. That is, of course, if you are a US citizen. It's part of the democratic process to have your say, regardless of whom you vote for. Until next time, stay safe, regardless of your identity or who you love. Be an amazing ally, be kind, and please, for the sake of everyone's future, keep evolving.